pleasant afternoon to you. What's on your mind?
I've got something that I'm struggling to believe.
Then it must be something rather special.
It's about something the Herald said when I fought it in the source. It said that it was from elsewhere. A place we wouldn't be able to understand. And the Herald claimed to be older than the Surge. Much older.
That is a fascinating assertion. And we've received reports of it reappearing after you defeated it.
Right. I heard that too. I would have mentioned this earlier, but with all the action and me almost dying...
Say no more. I do, however, think that Aurea and Dharm need to hear about this too. Aurea? Dharm? Would you mind coming over here?
You're looking uncharacteristically serious, Lane.
I'm looking normal, I think. But you are correct.
Brynn?
The Herald claimed to have existed for a long time before the Surge. And it said that at the heart of the source, there's a breach between worlds. That's where the Surgeborn came from.
I don't know how we'll tell everyone about this. Will they panic? Will they even believe us? Should we tell them at all?
Hold on, Lane. You're jumping to conclusions. It's possible that the Surgeborn was lying.
It's true. Even though it never technically lied to Brynn, it certainly enjoyed its little mind games.
I really don't think that's the case. It wanted Brynn to join it, and this would explain so much about the origin of the Surgeborn.
I believe the solution to our worries is, as always, more research. Brynn, since we've received reports of the Herald reappearing, would you mind hunting it down for us again? Specifically, to know for sure whether it is as otherworldly as it claimed to be, I will need you to harvest its pattern, as fresh as possible for me.
Absolutely. I've already killed this thing twice. A third time will be a piece of cake.
Splendid! Understanding the unknown kills any fear it may hold over us. Is this course of action acceptable to you two?
Yes. Sounds good to me. What do you think, Lane? Would that make you feel better?
I suppose that's a sensible way forward. Sorry, big revelation. I need to take some time to process this. Dharm, will we analyze the resonance together? I need to prepare my workstation.
One step at a time, my friend.
Of course. The resonance, yes. Good luck, Brynn.
Don't need luck when I've got a team like you behind me. I know I can harvest its pattern. Just need to do it again. Good news. I harvested the Herald's pattern.
Splendid. If you'll let me handle the resonance. Darm, come and look at this. Brynn's brought back the Surgeborn resonance, and
Fascinating. It really is like nothing I've laid hands on.
the Herald was telling the truth then. About this, at least.
Walk me through it, team.
Darm, do you want to?
Yes. This is the second resonance I've had access to, and I didn't realize before, but it's clearly not of this world. It resembles nothing mentioned in any literature I've ever seen. The Hearthsiders' libraries have nothing about this, not even the Spindle's tomes. Exploring the possibility of other worlds could consume decades of a researcher's life, and they'd barely scratch the surface. It was a theoretical, primary theological pursuit before, but this strand changes everything.
So you're suggesting this is an entirely novel field of research?
That is precisely the fact of the matter, my curly-haired friend.
So, for those of us who aren't academics, what's the takeaway here?
Our understandings of the mechanisms of the universe will fundamentally shift as a result of this.
Great. Love that. Does that mean there could be more places like the Source?
Anything is possible. Though, the lack of Surgeborn outside of the Enclave suggests that wounds between worlds are extremely rare.
I see. And what about the resonance I brought back? Is that dangerous at all?
The resonance is self-healing, but beyond that, it seems that some other element dictates the Herald's regeneration. I would not be surprised if you saw it again, but without its connection to home, it will not be able to evolve or adapt.
So the resonance heals itself, but it won't turn into a Surgeborn on its own.
Good. There's something else to worry about. One large thing. What amount of this information are we comfortable sharing? And with whom?
I wish I could draw from weaving history to provide guidance, but something this big has never happened before.
The Axel has always appreciated our transparency. We should tell her first.
I would assume she's busy with her duties as interim leader, but on the other hand, I've no clue. Truly, my font of wisdom runs empty.
I think this one's big enough that we can bother her about it without feeling guilty.
You're right, of course. I'll meet you in Cassidan's hold. I just need to document this while it's fresh in my mind.
And I will continue experimenting. What a wonderful opportunity.
See you in the hold, Lane.
Good morning, Karnatame. Might we trouble you with some questions of a fairly important nature?
You're already here, so you may as well.
This is a pretty big one, for the record.
We have learned something astounding about the Surgeborn and the fundamental nature of the Source.
Something new?
Yes. When Brynn was engaged in combat down in the Source, the Herald spoke to her of its origins. It told her it hailed from another world, and at the Source is a celestial wound through which the Surgeborn found their way here.
We thought it might have been lying, trying to throw me off. But recently, we realized it's regenerated. So I killed it again. Took a resonance from its pattern to Lane and Darm, and
It was all true.
all of it.
Darm is very excited about the existence of other worlds, and will continue researching. But it sits ill with me.
How so?
You and I spoke at length on how the truth, the whole truth, must be made available to all. That this isn't just some political secret. It changes our approach to everything. Religion, weaving, the way we place ourselves in the world.
I understand. I assume you've thought a great deal about this. Give me a risk assessment.
That's just the thing. Understanding more about the world. It's beautiful. Wonderful. I have enough perspective, however, to know that the same may not be true for others, especially those who have lived here through the Surge. Would it bring peace to their hearts? Would this knowledge, shared free to all, improve their lives? I fear not. But perhaps I am the fool for thinking that I am wise enough to know what is best for others.
I see. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. First things first, we need to find out what Kenrick knew about this. Let's fetch him, shall we?
What do you want?
I was hoping to draw on some of your memories, if you wouldn't mind. It's in regards to a security matter.
If it's a security matter, then those two shouldn't be privy to it.
That's no longer your call. In the years where you held the Surgeborn Talon in custody, did it ever speak to you of its origins?
I will not incriminate myself.
I'm simply asking a question from someone who's in charge to someone who was in charge.
And you may simply ram that question up where the sun doesn't shine.
You're useless. You may leave.
I'm useless. I'm not the one chasing religious fairy tales about worlds beyond our own. Ridiculous.
So you knew, and kept it to yourself. That's more than enough from you.
I'll leave you to your hunt for a desert Akala, then.
Exhausting. I'm sorry about him, as always. Now, given the services you have rendered us, I believe you deserve a little trust. So I'll listen to what you think I should tell our people of the Herald and the worlds beyond ours and whatever else.
It's humbling to have earned such trust, and we won't squander it. Before I speak, do you have any thoughts on this, Brynn?
I don't really believe in higher intelligences, but a lot of people do. From the Church of the Hallowed Pyre to the Tarzan gods, religion brings structure to people's lives. I'm afraid that if we told everyone the whole truth, it would destroy that structure. And when frameworks fail, the opportunists swoop in.
Very true. Experienced that ourselves. Now, Lane?
Brynn covered some of what I've been musing over, but for the sake of completeness, I'll recap it all with my own thoughts. 3 major facets of this problem loom in my mind. First, that of the research possibilities. Keeping this revelation under lock and key would obviously gatekeep untold numbers of discoveries. Second, that of those who adhere to the various religions around the Maida. I fear that disclosing the existence of other worlds to the public at large could upset a great many people at best, and trigger a holy war at worst. They have been waged on far smaller provocations than this. Finally, and most importantly, so many of the problems we've encountered here have been because people kept secrets. Whether they were forced to keep them or not, the existence of those secrets significantly hamstrung our efforts to learn about the Enclave. If I had any choice in the matter, I would change that status quo in a heartbeat.
Now is your chance. If you want to seize the moment, I will respect your choice.
The irony is that I find myself faltering on the precipice, because I've now been presented with truly dangerous knowledge. Before I entered the Enclave, before we undertook this wondrous journey, I would have been adamant that everyone know each intimate detail. But now, I believe we must find an acceptable truth to share. but not the whole truth.
What do you have in mind, then?
Subject to your approval, we start by telling your people the story of the Source, the entire truth, barring that of the breach. Then we tell the people that, as it stands right now, the monster they saw at the Grand Gate is eternal. But, more importantly, we are working on ways to combat it. We keep its true origins close to our chest. Knowing how to contain the Surgeborn is much more important. For now. We tell part of the truth. We share select details and let the people weave their own interpretations. We control the narrative by allowing conflicting narratives to spread. And one day, the denizens of the Maida may be ready to know the full truth. Is that acceptable to you, Karnatame?
Yes, it is. And might I say, you would have made an amazing politician had you stayed in Judea.
That's kind of you to say. But I have too strong a moral core to do that kind of work.
Very understandable. It's not for everyone. Nevertheless, I will communicate our story to the public. Let's hope the ensuing chaos is limited. I'd like to build trust again.
It's the right thing to do.
Lane, Brynn, thank you for your time and assistance.
It has been our everlasting pleasure, Karnatame.
I should have. It doesn't matter.
You're being unusually quiet. You can't talk. We didn't just cut off your ability to access the scry. The Ark of Verdance must have done something to you at the source. Huh. I wonder what this means.
As if a great weight has been lifted from my shoulders. When one begins to live their life beyond dusty old tomes, they must reckon with the complexities that are part and parcel of lived experience. Which is to say, you have truly been an agent of change in my life, Brynn. In wonderful ways, of course.
Well, you're not so bad yourself.
I try my best. But really, I feel good.
How are you feeling about your research as a whole?
Excellent. I'm going to chronicle everything. Even if some of it may not see the light of day for some time, I have faith that it will, someday. And when it does, it will be useful to those who need it.
And what about that? Keeping it under wraps, I mean.
I suppose I have learned a sense of nuance. In Judea, keeping secrets was like breathing, but almost every secret was trivial or petty at best. And, more importantly, kept as a means through which to exert power. That was Kenrick's approach too. Power through secrets. Whereas I would hope that my reasons to keep secrets are driven by a sense of care and kindness. Do you think so?
I do. And more importantly, I know you're the kind of person to seek outside accountability if you need it.
With you and everyone else at my back, my worries are now few and far between. All that remains is to continue my research. And I'll need you to keep bringing back items of interest, of course.
I won't stop looking for things to bring home. Don't you worry.
Then I won't keep you. Get adventuring.